What's up, guys? I know what you guys are thinking. You guys are probably asking yourselves, wait a minute, Nash, didn't you just do a video already? And I did. Video got posted about a couple minutes ago, and not long after that, we got the ban list. So if you guys recall when I talked about the new cool tune support and the new Dominus trap card that will be released in Blazing Dominion, I talked about the ban list and how we could potentially be seeing several decks get hit on the ban list. um, yeah, we're about to find out right now because as I said, we just got the ban list for for the for the spring 2026 format, and I honestly don't know what to expect. And I feel like if Konami doesn't hit the Yummy deck and the Rise Yell deck, I can honestly say that those decks will never get hit. So I am on YG Organization's website. Big shout outs to them for announcing the ban list, and let's just see what is there. So we are going to start with the cards that got banned, meaning that you cannot use them anymore whatsoever. So, starting with the cards that are banned. Oh, shit. Okay. So, Barrier Statue of the Torrent. I believe that is the water statue. If I remember correctly, I believe that is the water statue. Yes. Yeah, I was right. So it's the water barrier statue. So here's the funny thing with this one, right? So funny thing is that there are several decks in the meta that can actually that use use the water barrier statue. One of them is sharks. The other one the other one is Fluunderies. And so the funny thing about the flu decks is that flu can use can use both the water statue and the wind statue in their decks, I believe at 2 copies or maxed out at 3. So the fact that Konami has chosen to ban both the wind and the water statues is kind of cracked. Next one up is Malice White Binder. Okay, so this one is not. This one's okay. I feel like if they had banned Red Ransom, excuse me, both Red Ransom and White Binder, I feel like that. I feel like the decks. I feel like that the Malice deck would have been dead like completely, but they want to let players know that they can still play Malice. They just can't use Whitebinder because of how busted the card can get. Next up is Herald of the Arclight, which was completely expected. So this now means, if I can find it, that means that decks the decks that use up the decks that use up Herald of the Arclight, including Stardust decks, which I actually have my copy right here, will no longer be able to use to use this card. So now players are now going to have to find a way to use, or they're just gonna have to find something different, which I don't think there is. Um, funny thing funny thing is that Stardust decks really don't need Arclight in any way, so it doesn't make that much of a difference. But still, though, I think Arclight definitely a smart choice because of the fact that Yummy decks because of the fact that the Yummy decks were just able to abuse that card like it was nothing, and there's really no telling what other like spicy like IQ techs that players can use with Yummy. There's really no telling, but who knows? Who knows? And then Harpy's Featherstorm. That's a bit of an interesting one because Featherstorm was was really good in the Fluendaries deck. So that's actually a smart thing. Massive built-in negation for the Flu decks, because the Flu decks really don't have that very many negates in the deck. So Featherstorm was like one of the only cards that was able to be used um in the Flu deck. So that's actually really good. Um, Honestly, not too bad, not a bad start. But now we are gonna look into the cards that are limited, meaning that you can only use one copy. So Drake. First up is Dracotail Malulu, which is nasty. This card was absolutely busted. It basically helped you go into Dracotail and Telion. I believe is what it's called. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised on that. K9 66A Jokul, kind of a busted one. I think that was the Searcher. If I remember correctly, because I just talked about it last year in 2025. I believe Jokul was either the Searcher, or it was the I it was either the Searcher or the Monster Negate. It was one or the other. Um, Vanquish Soul, Holly Sue. Honestly, that's not bad. They're literally hitting every single. They're literally hitting every single deck in the meta to ensure that we get a much more better format compared to what we saw in the last like what 5, 6, 7 months at best. Kind of correct. Of Yummy Snatchy. This was one. This was the one that I was talking about. I believe that was the Link one. So, so Yummy Snatchy is at one. They should have banned it to ensure that the deck was dead, but I think even with Snatchy at one and Arclight at just banned, the deck can still go. I don't know. I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. But next up, we've got Ame no Habakiri no Mitsurugi. This was the game changer for pretty much any deck that can use up Mitsurugi. This was the ultimate game changer. This was probably one of the most busted negates I'd ever seen. Literally, this was one of the most busted, um, one of the most busted disruptions for the entire deck. I mean, being able to just add any Mitsurugi card from your deck to your hand, making your opponent's monsters lose 800 attack. Busted. A case for K9 is the next card that got limited. This was another one. I think that was the Rhoda for the whole deck, so it's kind of pretty cool. And then key to Draco Tail, I believe this was the Poly. This was either the Poly or the Searcher for the whole deck, so kind of cracked. Yeah, literally they're literally hitting every single deck in the format right now. But it all comes down to these next two. The cards that are now semi-limited at 2, and the cards that are off the balance. So let's start with the semi-limits. Oh my god. Wow. they just limited. They just put Droll and Lockbird to 2 copies. You heard me right. Look at this. Right there. Droll and Lockbird, 2 copies. And if I remember correctly, my DD deck actually has Droll at 3. Yeah, literally my DD deck has Droll and Lockbird at 3 copies. That is so hilarious. That is so hilarious. This now means I need to find a replacement for my third Droll, which I'm probably gonna throw in another, just some other like dark contract card, or maybe patent license or something. I'll have to think about it, but yeah, Droll and Lockbird at 2. Enough said. But now this is where things get interesting. The cards that are off the ban list. Let's find out. Okay, so Black Dragon Collapse Serpent is off the ban list, which is crazy. Dragon Link decks are now going to be 10 times more busted than ever before. Dark Grepher is off the ban list. Vanquish Soul Ryzen, White Dragon Wyvern Burster, Zodiac Trident, Change of Heart. Guys, they just took Change of Heart off the ban list after... Oh my god. Change of Heart, Crystron Inclusion, Snatch Steal, Stake Your Soul. Okay. To be fair, with Snatch Steal and Change of Heart, because that there are so many cards in the meta right now that can take control of your opponent's monsters, this is actually kind of crazy, because there's really no telling like what decks can use Snatch Steal at 3. But the fact that Dragon Link decks are now gonna come back into the meta. The fact that Dark Grepher is off the ban list after so many years. I wouldn't be surprised if Konami try to make new cards for Dragon Link decks that will make Dragon Link even more busted than they were at the World Championship in Berlin back in 2019. Because in 2019, that was when Dragon Links at the time was super busted, and we were just getting out of toss format, which was by far one of the best formats that we ever had. I think since Edison, or had one or the other. But yeah, finally, we finally got our wish. Bye bye Yummy decks. Bye bye Malice decks. Obviously Raziel is still gonna be in the format, which is kind of bullshit. Draco Tail is still gonna be viable. Who knows? Next ban list, Raziel better get hit, otherwise everybody is going to riot. But let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this ban list, and what cards do you believe should have been on this list. Let me know down in the comments below, and that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel, if you guys want more ban list reveals in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below. as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.